Hey everybody, Mason here. So we're going to jump into our sleepy reishi. This is our bedtime tonic. Reishi mushroom's been one of those most important mushrooms that I've had there in the SuperFeast apothecary over the years, especially because we're going to get into the sleep side of things, but let's just talk on like an anxiety side of things. A lot of people very anxious, nervous system like absolutely on high alert at all times. And so reishi is one of these herbs. Yes, we can go into the immunoregulatory aspects and modulating aspects. It's a good hormonal tonic. It's a beautiful liver tonic. It's a hepatoprotective, and it's also getting into the cardiovascular system and helping like tone those aspects of our body up. But really, when you get down to it, one of the beautiful medicines that it's bringing to the West is how much it helps with calming the mind, calming the spirit, calming anxieties, so that ultimately we can have a really nice deep sleep at night. And that's why we put it in our sleepy reishi bedtime tonic. And so let's dive in. One of the first things we need when you're doing a hot tonic is you need a liquid base. Now, you can just use hot water and reishi. Know that you can do that, but we're going to use chamomile just because it's such a beautiful carminative herb. We're just going to do an infusion, meaning we're just going to steep it in hot water. So it's not going to be necessarily a sedative. If I was going to do a decoction in rolling boiling water, I'm just going to steep it here, let that infuse for a minute while we ramble on about the beautiful benefits of reishi a little bit more. All right. Whoop. And a little bit more. Okay, and pop the top on there. So got our chamomile tea starting to brew there. That's going to be the base. And then next, we've got SuperFeast reishi. So guys, remember this is a semi-wild crafted reishi. We grow it in the mountains. Grow it in the mountains as close to nature as possible, making sure that those elemental forces are rocking so that the adaptogenic and the carminative aspects of reishi are really rocking. That's like a very important part when you're sourcing reishi. It's why it's been an important part for sourcing reishi for me, because so many mums and corporates and entrepreneurs, students dealing with high levels of mental stress and anxiety and physical stress, and reishi is one of the primary herbs to get in there, and especially when there's anxiety involved, it's going to be a really good friend. Now, yes, it's used in the treatment for anxiety, but that's not the way we're working it here. We want you to bring this into your lifestyle. It's kind of like having a friend. Don't think of it as something that's going to come in and be the therapy and be the treatment. It's going to work with your body, your mind, your spirit to bring a little bit more of an integration between them so that ongoingly you don't have to deal with those symptoms. So in a sense, it gets integrated into the diet. So we've got a dual extract red reishi, very powerful Shen tonic, as the Taoists would call it, spirit tonic. Just making sure that the spirit's nice and calm, can settle into the integrated and in communication, mind and body. So, got our reishi in there. Now, reishi's quite bitter. Now, if you're really not into the bitter taste, you can add a little bit of honey or some other kind of sweetener. But I do recommend you get used to that taste. You can just, I've put about like, a good level teaspoon. You can start with a quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon if that's too much. But, really encourage yourself to get used to and embrace that bitter flavor. All right, so we've had that little infusion of chamomile going here. I'm going to pour that in. Beautiful, calming preparation for a nice deep sleep. That's what we're going for here. Especially if you're having medicinal mushrooms, say if you're having like your Mason's mushrooms first thing in the morning, but you really like the idea of having reishi as well, well, that's what you can do. You can save your reishi for night and have reishi hot water or a reishi chamomile and really get yourself changing gears, down-regulating the nervous system so you can get into that deep sleep at night with this sleepy reishi tonic. Cheers and have a beautiful sleep, everybody. And really delicious.